Alright, let's get this underway. So I did say I would mess around a bit with the Graf Zeppelin test, and I am. So Graf Zeppelin Test 1 and Test 2 have come out. They are a work in progress, naturally. Um, they are still trying to keep true to the Graf Zeppelin in and of itself being a rapid deployment carrier, but also one dedicated more to bombers than actually, you know, torpedoes, which is fine. You can make it work if you're able to kind of mess around with a few things. So, looking at the tests, this is GZ Test 2, and GZ Test 2's got, 72 aircraft. That's quite a bit. It's going to be 2 fighter squadrons and 3 dive bomber squadrons. The dispersions that are currently on GZ2 are very, very forgivable and very much in line with the HE variant that was on the original Graf Zeppelin. So if I jump over here to the HE, there we go. It's HE, it's a 120 meter dispersion. The bombers are at 1580 health or hit points and a cruising speed of 135 knots. The maximum bomb damage, it's at 11,100, not bad. I've had a lot of good performance coming out of those HE bombers. So here we're looking at the Graf Zeppelin 2, and you can see it's very much along the lines of the same thing. They've got a little bit more health, 1659, which is great. The damage is a little bit less than the max available, but these APs are actually performing rather well. One thing that's also worth noting, I think they boosted the Messerschmitts, so we've got 175, 1896, with a 61 loadout, average 67, and yes, a little bit more health, 1991, 67, 67 overall. They perform rather well. I've taken them out on actual random battles, and I've held my own fairly well against the other carriers. I've gone up against mainly Americans at the same tier, and I haven't run into any issues until a nasty little destroyer manages to sneak up on me and throw some torpedoes down my way. Now, I have actually, credit to the Graf Zeppelin, run into a destroyer wherein my auxiliary guns took care of it, and I had a little sliver of health left. I was able to stay in the fight for a little bit longer until a wayward shell decided to go through my deck and explode my ship. And that was all with the GZ2. The GZ1, which is another variant that they're throwing out, you can see it's got a slightly less health on the... Well, no, that's probably just because of my captain. Never mind. Actually, I'll do this just to show apples to apples. Coming in from my... No, I don't want you. Where's my slightly better captain here? Oh, there we go. Conrad. Yep, much better. So, same health, same overall DPS. Quite nice. 1659 on the health here, so a little bit less on the dive bombers. And these have more of the ellipse style drop patterns. And I find these awkward to use. Yes, they do take a lot more skill. Yes, you can drop some pretty nice bombs on the larger ships. But overall, I've got to say, when I'm comparing the two side by side, and I'll show them off a little bit here, I much rather prefer the consistency of the circular pattern. It's a little bit more friendly towards the newer captains, which is great. But as a whole, it seems to me at least to be a lot more consistent, especially when you're going up against smaller ships. The ellipsoid is great against battleships. It performs remarkably well, and I can't complain about it at all. But when it comes to the other nasties that are running around, well, the circular pattern tends to do a whole lot better. Now, one thing that's worth noting here, one of the little perks they've given the Graf Zeppelin is the fact that I'm going to move this off my map real quick here. Move. We'll actually toss you up here. Why not? Actually, probably a better spot's over here. I should have thought this one through. One of the nicer things that they've given the Graf Zepp this go around is rapid aircraft deployment. So one of the things that you'll notice here, I'm counting down from 12 seconds on these, and I think it was about 20 on these guys. They launch significantly quicker. This is the prep time, and once they start getting in the air, what you're going to see is these aircraft are really quick to get out into the air. And that's nice. And that is actually, again, true to the historical capabilities of the Graf, in that it has, if I zoom in here, dual catapults side by side capable of deploying aircraft significantly quicker. So, you know, kudos to the Wargaming team on playing to that particular strength. That does allow me to, in battles where I'm not facing another GZ, get a lot more aircraft in the air faster to start scouting out and giving my team some information and some great feedback on what they might be expecting to face as they push into the different capture points. As far as fighting air-to-air and all that kind of stuff goes, like I said, with these particular fighters, I have not had too much in the way of problems dealing with or contesting air superiority. My main issue as of right now has been a little bit more in tune with staying alive when the other ships start coming up on my tailpipe. 3, can I get you out? There we go. So, gonna concentrate a little. See if I can go after these 4 or 5. I need all you guys here. Come here. And I just lost flight 2. There was a 2-on-1 there. That's fine. Oh gosh, now he's got his 3 fighter groups going up against me. That dick. So while I'm at it, let's show off the drop patterns here. So this is your auto drop, which is really nice. Again, very much in line with what the... And here is the manual drop. Very tight, very concise, capable of getting a lot of rounds on target. But I'll show you what the auto drop can do. Boom, boom. That's it? Oh, come on, I know you're better than that. That's actually one of the worst auto drops I've ever seen. Oh, but she is a very good ship overall in this particular incarnation, especially compared to what she originally was. I have got to say that, again, side by side, I much prefer this incarnation of the GZ compared to the GZ Test 1 that they've currently got out. It's probably a preferential thing. I'm sure that there are people who are quite capable of doing remarkably well with the Ellipses drop. And, oh, shish. Alright, let's get these boys back out. Alright, I'm going to send you here. 3, take care of my terp. Actually, 3, I wonder if I can contest a little on these. 2... Nice. Allied aircraft, I just took one out. Alright, let's go after this turbot. Let's get over the Terps there. Here. Oh god, whose Torps are those? Those are not mine. Is that our guy over here? No, that's a Dunkirk. Dunkirk has no torpedoes. Move might have been... Nah. I'm going to stick around here and hopefully spy Torps if they get dropped by this other turret. There we go. Good job. That's about as much a heads up as I can give you, bud. So, quick little skirmish. Not the most impressive as far as... damn. Not the most impressive as far as numbers go. But, certainly a good showing of, you know, well, the GZ2 against the GZ2. I could have done a whole lot better. I still say I'm getting better damage output from the HE bombs, but as far as comparing the performance, or at least the usability of the AP to the HE, the GZ2 puts on a nice little show. So I can't complain too much about that. So to kind of show a good little comparison here, let's see, where's my GZ test 1? Let's pull from other ships. Let me get my commander out here. So, GZ test 1. Again, set up with the same same signals, same camo. It's going to be the same captain, so, you know, very much the same performance, capabilities at least. And let's take a look at how this one does. Let's see. What were some of these specifics? I've got a little cheat sheet off to the side here. Oh, God. They've got me going up some boys here. Okay. So, I am going to park my happy little self. Ooh. You know what? I am going to circle around this way. Because why not? You never know what you'll find. Let's get some planes out. There we go. Yay! So let's show you a brief comparison here. So that's the manual drop dispersion on these things, and it's not a bad drop at all. In fact, if I recall right on the cheat sheet, yep, um, the alt attack ellipses is increased by 40% off of that. So it's still a really good pattern, all said and done. We've got a DD around here somewhere. See if we can find them. So, again, these are co-op matches. They are not by any means a full indication of what the current incarnation of the ship can do. This is more just to give an idea of what the changes were. I am not an expert captain with carriers, as I've said before. So this is about... I'm gonna lock this guy up here. There we go. Let's see what we can get. And I'm gonna miss every single one. Perfect example of why I suck with these ships. But a good show of what that dispersion size looks like. Under manual fire, it's not bad. Really isn't. When you can go up against a destroyer on that level, it's... yeah. That's not bad. Gosh, I can't believe I missed every single one. I'm gonna lose. 3 is completely out. Does not help that I've got... yeah. That's not what I wanted to do. Aww. Yep, I'm a terrible carrier captain. I will never deny that. I'm much more at home in some of the bigger boys that are out there. That's the auto drop size. So slightly smaller than a big old battleship, but still very capable. In fact... yeah, I'm not going to do well this match. It's a bad sound. Let's see what we can do against this boy. So this is where the ellipses can get a little problematic, for me at least. And that is the positioning of the aircraft. To maximize the potential that this has, you've got to position the aircraft to come in at the right angle, which is about a head-on. Now, that's a good angle if you're trying to counter or deal with some of the AA that they've got, but... is that guy gone? Let's go carrier hunting. Maybe I can find the... is that a UFO? That's a UFO. Huh. Alright. So his fighters are all up here. I'm just going to keep them tied up. Because I want to go carrier hunting. So let's see what we can get here. And let's try to not miss everything. Much better. Much, much better. Oh, that's more like it. That's what I like to see. So let's push down here a bit with my fighters. Let's keep this target spotted. We know where it is. Oh gosh. I need to turn some volume down later. Nope, 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 nope. I'm not going to strafe my own boys this time. So yes, if you get good drops, you can actually do some things. Yep, and out of ammo. It might be my imagination, but I feel like my ammo lasts a whole lot better when I am in the GZ2 variant. But I'm also kind of probably crazy in that regard. I don't know. Nope, 3, I want you to stay out here, keep this guy spotted. So 23 down. All 14 of those came out of one run. I could have had so much more if I'd actually aimed my first set of bombs properly. 2, get your butt down here as well. In fact, I don't even need to. There we go. So let's see what those 14 bomb hits did. Yeah, I could have potentially added about maybe we'll be conservative, say about maybe 50% of that. Not my best showing at all either. I'm still more partial to the HE out of the original Graf Zepp, but for AP, I've got to say the GZ2 is probably my top pick. It's just comparing them side by side. I like that you're not dealing with a different reticle for the 2 different bombs. I mean, it's the same Junkers dive bomber. Why should it be a different dispersion? That said and done, I also probably have to attribute some of that to skill. The ellipses, or the ellipsoid, whatever you want to call it, drop pattern is probably a lot better suited for the more advanced players who are more skilled at bringing their ships head on or tail on and judging the ship movement. The circular drop pattern that the GZ2 has and the original Graf Zeppelin has with the HE is probably a lot more suited to an easier play style that calls for a lot more of a, well, it allows you to approach from any angle and still get the same drop pattern. Fighter performance wise, again, I've had successful air battles and my random battles with this ship. I can't complain about that at all. So I've got to say they're moving it in the right direction. I would like to see a few more tweaks as far as ammo capacity, perhaps. Um, Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit of a decrease on the drop time on the bombs. They still feel like they're taking a little bit of time to get to their target. I could see that being accelerated a little bit, but you know, she's not a bad ship. Just a little misunderstood. Anyway, take from this what you will. I'm going to try to let's see. I'm going to put this up there, you know, for anyone who cares to see it. This is not going to be a nice little in-depth random battle thing. I did say I was probably going to focus less on its capabilities in that particular mode and more on just the general changes that it's undergoing and undertaking. And yeah, you know, take a look at it if you want. If you've got the ship, play around with it. I'm sure you already are. If you don't have the ship, well, hey, this is kind of the direction they're trying to keep true to. It is going to be a dive bomber ship. And I kind of like the idea of a rapid deployment strike, first on the field, first to get some bombs out there, first to start harassing and haranguing your enemies. And if that's the strength it brings with average air power as far as the fighters are concerned, and stronger damage on the bombers, then hey, that's the direction it goes. You've got it filling a niche role that's not bad. Being able to get some scouters out early and giving your team some intel when the other team is still working on getting their aircraft in the air is a really nice tactical advantage. It lets you spot and harass some of those DDs a little bit ahead of time so that yours can get out there unharried and start getting rounds on target. And, you know, that's never a bad thing. So, anyway, that's about all I've got for right now. I'm getting ready to jump on another flight, so I'm going to toss this up on the channel for anyone who cares to see it. And I will probably start messing around a little bit more in depth next weekend when I get back in town. And I will probably try to actually get some better self-performance to more capably show off just what the GZ can do in the hands of a novice carrier captain. Alright. Fireworks. Happy fun times. Anyway, that's all I've got. Have a nice night. Bye.